I want to share my perspective regarding the inner critic and how to overcome the inner critic. Since I was a little girl, I always had this really unkind inner critic. And it wasn't until recently that I reflected on it. I realized, like during a very heavy time in my life, that even when the inner critic was very loud, something kept me grounded. I just felt this presence of something. It almost felt angelic, if you will. And just through a lot of healing, I realized it was like my higher self or my true self, if you would. I just always felt this present with me that was almost like holding my hand that didn't judge me for having challenging moments with my mental or emotional state. And it was just in his presence that I felt this calm, safety, like sigh. Because ever since I was little, I've always been feeling like I've been holding my breath, ready to just like breathe in relaxation and safety. So I'll just be very honest. I used to deal with like self-harming techniques to ground myself because I used to have like these bad PTSD episodes. And I just felt the presence of more of my higher self, my true self. It was very kind and warming. It didn't push, it didn't judge, it didn't shame me, it didn't even tell me what to do. It was just like sitting there beside me. So now, if anytime I do any type of mental, emotional turbulence, I kind of try my best to do that with myself. Just see like the turbulence as like a very scared 2-year-old or 1-year-old. And as the adult there, you don't shame them for having a tantrum. You just sit beside them and you might hold their hand or hold them until they're able to kind of stabilize. And that's what I do now. Anytime I have mental or emotional challenges, I try my best to. I was sharing this because a lot of times we take our inner critic as us, but a lot of times it isn't. A lot of times it's just conditioning and wounding and trauma and just hearing other people's stories and projection in form of hearing our own selves in our head. And if you ever struggle with that, just try that for once, just for a moment. I get really quiet. I close my breath. I almost do like this self-hug thing as if I'm soothing my inner child that's having this tantrum. Because a lot of times the tantrum is just showcasing fear or, a reaction to something that you may have experienced bad in the past. I love you, and I hope this helps you next time you deal with any internal turbulence. By the way, I'm not no doctor. I'm just somebody who's been through a lot and was able to overcome it. And I'm just sharing a technique that I still use to this day that I really feel like helps me. I love you, and you got this.